everyone. Might take me a minute, but I'll get it together. It happens every time. Can you hear me now? Mrs. Deigh Donnette Froysa, 60, died Thursday, June 29, 2023, at her residence. She was born in Ware County and lived most of her life in Florida and Ware County. She was preceded in death by her father, Benjamin Franklin Booth. She was a freelance secretary and a former employee of Lowe's in Kingsland, Georgia. Survivors include her husband, David Froysa of Waycross, two sons, Brian Hicks of Fort Lauderdale, and Travis Hicks and Ashley of Callahan, Florida, a stepson, Kerrigan Williams and Anna of Callahan, Florida, a grandson, Brantley Nelson, her mother, Cornetta Booth of Waycross, a sister, Pamela Natrillo of Orange Park, her nephew, Benjamin Roche and Michelle of Jacksonville, Florida, and her niece, Lauren Bookert and Adam of Orange Park, Florida. She had multiple grandbabies. They all gravitated to her because they could feel the love that she had. She loved everybody's children. I came up with a guideline. I might stray a little bit, but bear with me through this. I was thinking this morning, procrastinating as I normally do. My sister, where do I begin? We have so many memories to cherish. She was a great ball player. All throughout our childhood, I could remember we only had one vehicle. My daddy was working. He would come barreling it down the road, through the driveway, pull up, blow the horn. We go running out the door with our baseball uniforms, our gloves. Mama, we all hop in the car, run into the baseball park, go back home to eat dinner. We always did things as a family, which I think is very important. She loved fishing. Oh my word, she loved fishing. She went fishing with Daddy all the time. And then after Daddy passed, she still went fishing. She was the one that didn't mind cleaning the fish. Not me. I said, I'll stay away from that, okay? She loved the outdoors. She loved everything about the outdoors, whether it was fishing, going traveling, to zoos, she was that kind of person. Her love language, which she had a passion for, was cooking. And anybody who has been fortunate enough to taste her cooking, you know what I'm talking about. That was her happy place. She always had so much fun in the kitchen. And I think that we will always remember she was the one known for her 15-pound Lasagnas. Yes. She was also very creative. She loved painting. She could envision places that she had visited or been to. She could paint it, all from memory, whether it was on a canvas, saw blades, long saw this way or the round ones. She could do it all. I used to tease her a lot about, she was very good with floral design. And I used to tell her, I was like, well, sister, why don't I start us a business? I said, I'll, run the floral shop and you just be my designer. She said, well, I love to do it, and if it was my job, I may not like it so much. Which makes a lot of sense. She has touched so many lives in her, what I consider short life of 60 years. She has a very generous heart, always willing to help. Her travels through their chosen profession with her husband, David, has taken them all over the United States and Canada. Where that is important and resonates with me is we are here. We love her. We are family. We have no idea the little spider legs that has stretched out all over this United States because she made friends wherever she went, and they in turn became extended family. Places that they had frequented, more than once, see the same family, which I think speaks volumes of just the way she was. Her smile, her quick wit and comebacks. I'm going to miss that. She is very quick on a dime. Let's just put it that way. So her work here is done. She has received the ultimate gift of eternal life. That gives me great comfort. I've yet to walk the path and see what I can envision, what she's seeing now. Just the other day on the way home from work, I was having a conversation, as I normally do, between myself and God. And I was praying for her, of course. And at that time, I had no idea how things were going to turn out or when he would come for her. And I can just remember saying, she couldn't hear me because she was at Mama's, but I was, baby, when you get that chance, you run as hard as your little legs will run and take you. Wrap your arms around Jesus and know that you are home. I prayed that prayer. That's where I find my strength, my comfort, because I'm at peace. She's at peace. No more pain from this cruel disease of cancer. It knows no boundaries. It has no respect for anyone. So, this is not goodbye, my baby sister. But this is see you later. And I will. I will see her. We love you forever and always. Dancing in heaven. One day we shall meet again on that beautiful shore, with hugs and laughter I so much adore. I have traveled life's path here on earth to the end. My memories and love to my families and friends I send. No more pain or sorrow for my body to bear. God has taken me home with his loving care. Tears of joy it will bring when I hear the angels sing, where I'll get my chance to dance.
Hi. Y'all have to bear with me. It's definitely not something I've ever done before. That's so weird, Dave. God. So there's a lot of words that I could use to describe my Aunt Mama. There's a lot. But the ones that resonate with me: giving, caring, loving, and the most of all is sarcastic. Oh, sorry. She was so sarcastic. Oh, we would banter back and forth over and over. It's the best, I'm telling y'all. Oh, she was one of my most favorite people. She wasn't perfect, and she didn't try to be. She would tell you exactly like it is, without any intention of hurting your feelings. But if you needed to hear the truth, that's what she would tell you, the truth. She had so much love in her heart. Oh, y'all know, you see it anytime, like Mama said. There's so many spider webs that I'm sure that she has created across the world. And if you came into her life, you were her baby, always. And she loved you. Her love was overwhelming. And some of you aren't going to understand what this means, what this reference means, but there's a lot of you in this room that will. My Aunt Mama walked me. She walked me and my baby girl around our house. And I can tell you that the both of us are the spitting image of her, and she will live on through us, and I just hope that we make her proud.
Sorry. For some of you who don't know who I am, I'm Charles, and people realize who I am on that. Before I go with that statement, does everyone, by chance, seen the Facebook message I left yesterday? Did everyone see that? So I don't have to read it, or we good? Okay. October 2009. I was a vendor for Miracle Grow at Lowe's Garden. Deigh was worked outside garden. Back in that time, you could never show any kind of relationship with vendors and employees. And we were kind of dating about 3 months. And the boys out in the outside garden were very protective of Deigh. Damon said to her one day, "Hey, you know that guy from Miracle Grow? I think he's stalking you." She's like, "What?" He goes, "He only seems to work here at Lowe's when you're on." He told her, "Don't invite him to your house for a sandwich, because he'll bring his whole family and they'll move in. You gotta watch that kind." Had made her. One day I was putting up mulch and stacking it, and he says to me, "Hey, Dave, you're single, right?" I go, "Yeah." "See the girl up there watering the flowers?" I go, "Yeah." "What's her name?" Mind you, we're still dating 3 months. He goes, "That's Deigh. Why don't you check her out?" I said, "Are you kidding me? She's so darn high maintenance, I wouldn't touch that with a 10-foot pole." And he's like, "Well," and he was pimple-faced kind of guy. He goes, "Well, I tried to date her, but she said no to me." So we dated. And our very first date, as a firefighter in St. Mary's, but I didn't have a vehicle. One of my firefighters allowed me to borrow his pickup truck. And I came into the parking lot at Lowe's to pick her up. I didn't realize it. I had 2 bolts on one tire on the right side, 2 bolts on the tire on the left, and squeaking and all of that. And she goes, "Oh, hell no. We'll take my car." And she had a brand new vehicle. I thought that was very nice on our first date. I didn't realize she didn't want to get in, because that pickup truck, you needed crutches to roll down the window, had a blanket across the seat because all the springs were exposed. What caught my eye with her was her blue eyes. And, I've been working there about 8, 9 months. Finally got up the nerve, because I thought she was with somebody. She wasn't. Finally got up the nerve to ask her, or give her my phone number. And about 2 weeks later, I didn't hear anything. Saw her in the store, said, "You didn't call me." "Well, I washed your phone number in my laundry." I'm like, "Really? Is that your line?" And she got all bent out of shape. She says, "Trust me, I forgot." So I gave her the number again. I never realized, I never came into Lowe's in my firefighter outfit, but she always said her dream was to date a firefighter. And then one day we had a service, and I walked in the store. She's like, "Good God Almighty." And I was hoping, unfortunately, I couldn't find it, but there's a picture of me sitting in my outfit and her standing behind me, which was really gorgeous. But every once in a while, that song, "Hard-Headed Woman," comes on the XM radio in the truck. And obviously, don't forget my girl. I was very fortunate. If people have no idea, or do have an idea, trucking world, when you travel 48 states in Canada and you're alone, it's a lonely job. But she sat in that passenger seat for 9 years. I found out yesterday, I thought only further she ever been to was Mississippi. My sister-in-law, Pamela, told me she went at least to Oklahoma. But from that point on, she went 48 states, all Canada. She'd been to San Diego Zoo, bucket list. Disneyland, bucket list. Statue of Liberty, bucket list. She actually flew with me, and according to her, first time she'd ever been on a plane, she flew with me to to Atlantic City for my high school class reunion. We slept in a Trump Tower. Been to the Keys. We walked all the time. And she had that, and I wish we still had it, but we didn't because the owner wouldn't make any repairs, but we had a big house, what they call in the trucking industry, 156-foot truck. Had floor, sink, counter, closet, toilet, shower. We slept on a queen-size bed. Smaller trucks we've been in and out. You go to Walmart, get the little bag of cauliflower, broccoli. In that big house, we were able to get the big bag. And the first time, and anytime she made a meal, we always kind of traditionally kind of threw plates to the back sleeper and she would clean up afterwards. First time she was in the big sleeper, it didn't get past the kitchen sink. And people were like amazed how she cooked. In that truck, she would do shrimp scampi. She would do 15-pound lasagna. She would do peach cobbler. And anyone that came by the truck, she was quick to tell you, grab a plate, I'll feed you. We met so many people. And trust me when I tell you, as much as the world or our country seems to be prejudiced or rioting or back and forth with skin color, we never saw that. Many of our good friends are black, Chinese, Mexican, loved her to death. Actually, on our travels around the country, we hooked up with some boys, men. And they became our adopted sons. We have 9. Ranged from the age of 25 to 42. And we've known every one of them, at least the 9 years she's been on the truck. Every Mother's Day, they either text or call and wish her happy mom. I unfortunately talked to one of our adopted sons in California 2 days ago, and he was joyfully, hey, how's everything going? And I told him what the news was, and that's the first time I ever heard Alizar bawl his eyes out. But she had a way with people. We were never prejudiced. We always tried to help out. The two of us always believed we'd do good. We didn't really anticipate good coming back, but we did our part. But there's multiple times around the country that you literally thought we had a light sign on a truck. Here, these people will help you out because we always had doors knocking. Help me out, I need gas. Let me clean your aluminum, your tires, I need money, this and that. But we never turned anyone away. She was hard-headed, quick on her thoughts, stubborn. She accused me of that. She always accused me of being a crybag. And I said the other day at the house, in our 15 years relationship, if we had an argument, all she would do is get up in the truck, march her happy ass to the sleeper, and slam the curtain shut. And she'd be back in an hour. We never had any argument that lasted more than that. We never had an argument that lasted a day. I loved her. I know she loved me. And ironic, being 5 years older than her, she's been planning 5 years ago. Where am I going to get buried? Where is my will? Where's my testament? Always call me the old goat. Then we got new teeth from Aspen, then if I didn't put them in, then I became a toothless bastard. But from her point of view, and I would say the same to her. We love to dance. Oh my God. We can go to bars around the country and have staff members crying. They would stop working just to watch us dance. And speaking about dancing, my first date with Deigh, we went to a bar. And I said, "Can you dance?" And she said, "Yeah, I think so." I said, No, can you dance?" "I think I can." I said, "Well, we'll see." It was one of my popular hangouts, so I knew a whole bunch of people in the bar. First time we got out on the dance floor, within 2 seconds, I dropped her. So I rushed to pick her up off the floor, give her a kiss on the cheek, and said, "I'm so sorry." So men's right there. A couple weeks later, I was going to the Whistle Stop, another one of my bars with a whole bunch of friends that hang out all the time. And I said, "Well, it's karaoke night. Can you sing?" She goes, "I think I can." No, I said, "No, really, can you sing? I'm taking you to my home bar. I'll give it a shot." I said, "Okay." Place was packed. There at the bar, a bunch of bar stools, people packed there, people packed on the tables and stuff. And she got up to sing, and she did the Forest Sisters song. Tommy, the DJ, the system shot for some reason. So she did it a cappella, no music, and sang the whole song. The entire bar just stared at her. I'm like, wow, she can sing. We've been singing and dancing. We did our cruise. We were known as the dancers on the boat with 3,200 people. We did the private island, and people were yelling, "You guys are still dancing." But that's how we were. We treated everyone kindness. We loved everybody. We weren't doing anything wrong. She was my soulmate. She was my thoughts, my opinion. I reached out to do her as well, and did not expect this to happen, obviously. But she was a wonderful mother. She loved her sons dearly. I mean, she loved everyone. She loved her niece, her sister, her grandkids, all her heart. And just, I appreciate you all coming today. Just didn't expect to be doing this, obviously. A week ago Friday, she got home from the hospital in Jacksonville on Thursday, and Mom texted me Friday morning and said, "I know you're working, but there's a chance you can come to the house to see her." She just got home from the hospital. So I worked it out with my company. Thank God I was able to, and I got home at 4:30 Friday afternoon. Everyone knew I was coming, except her. We made it a surprise. And I went up to the side of her bed, grabbed her left hand, and she was sleeping. I just looked at her and I said, "Hello, darling." She popped up, bright eyes, big smile. "Hey, my baby." And that would be a very charitable moment because of the last time I saw her smile. But she knew the love I had for her. I did my best in 15 years relationship of taking care of her, supporting her, whatever she needed, whatever we wanted to buy. Yeah, every once in a while I kind of feel a little regretful that we didn't have a house. But because we always were gone, month and a half, 2 months on the road, why spend rent money when you're never there? But did my best at the house, did my best with her, did my best to help out my mother-in-law. Loved them both. And obviously, family members, I love you guys to death. And I don't know what else to say. I love you, darling. Oh, by the way, the Charles part, in case you want to know, because of my skin, I was a little darker than Deigh. Actually, she would tell you I'm the darkest skin kind of guy she ever dated. Rather than use the N-word, that's out in public, referring to black people, play it safe, we call each other Charles. So anytime I seen her at a casino, she'd be down playing a machine, I'll be over here, and there'd be like 4 old biddies playing, and I'll yell, Charles, let's go. And she gets up out of the chair, and all those old biddies are going, there's not a guy here. Who's he calling Charles?
Charles, let's go.
Exactly. So that's where, if you happen to see the message on Facebook, obviously you might see the word Charles is in parentheses, but, and you have to laugh. We're supposed to enjoy her, and even after we got the news in December from the doctor, before the news, anytime I had to get something for her, or get coffee, or get something to eat, I used to always snap at her and go, what the hell? What am I, your slave? And she goes, well, you're darker than I am. But we were at the doctor's, got the notice and stuff. We came back to Dr. Jaw's office in March, and he said, things are working well, the chemo's good, and he actually came into the room for a cancer office, which is pretty somber, last minute notice, all that. Dr. Jaw came in the room, sat in the chair there and told us everything's looking great. The tumor in her lung was 50% short. The lesions in her liver was 50% gone away. And she's sitting like right there. I'm sitting here, he's over there. And he goes, you guys have any questions? And I went, he goes, yes, Dave. I go, can we resume intimacy? And Dr. Jaw said, what? I go, can we do intimacy? And he looked at me and goes, brother, I have no experience from the waist down. I only do the waist up. And I told him the same thing. I said, I have no experience. We laughed. It was like a party. I felt guilty afterwards. You would have thought that with all that goes on there. But Deigh even said to him, thank God you had a chance, Dr. Jaw, to laugh. So, but that's what Charles meant. One of the songs you heard today, Frank Sinatra, I Did It My Way. I proposed to Deigh to that song. We were in Waco, Texas one day, did a Mexican restaurant karaoke, sang that song, told the people this is the song I proposed to my bride-to-be. We got done. We sat at the table. People came up and gave us money. Congratulations on your wedding. But that's how we were. And I always said to friends, especially with her, I always said to people, how good of an individual you are is how children and pets react to you, and every one of those pets and children with babies would come to her and sit on her lap, and she was in joy. But anyway, I'm going to miss her dearly. Thanks again for coming. I do have one little note, though. We were in Arizona at our adopted son's home, and he had a 3-year-old daughter. I come in the kitchen to get a coffee cup. Deigh standing right there, and it was Piggy Longstonk, or whatever her name was. And she was 3, blonde-headed girl. And Deigh said, honey, and we were known as Mom and Pop in their house. She goes, honey, there's a coffee cup on the second shelf. That 3-year-old spun around, put her hand on her hip, and looked at Deigh and says, that's not honey, that's Paul. And the little girl said, or Deigh said, yes, ma'am, I stand to be corrected. So she was a good lady. Love her to death. Oh, I'm sorry. We talked outside with the staff. Is there anyone else, I don't want to be selfish, anyone else has some thoughts they want to come up? You're more than welcome to. We're all good?